Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to start a race, or to set up a race, is we're going to go to the laps free icon. We're going to open that up and we can either choose an event, a past event, or an event that we've already pre-built, or we can create a new event. In this case, we're going to create a new event. I'm going to call it 10-13-14-01. The only reason I put a -01 in there is I've already created a 10, 13, 14 event. So I'm just giving it a different name as also we can start fresh. So once I put the event name in, I'm going to choose create. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to populate this list with drivers. Okay. And the way I normally do this is we have databases built for each individual class that we race in. So I'm going to go to options and I'm going to say open drivers database. Okay. And the first class I'm going to enter will be the two-wheel short course class. So I can double click on that. And this brings up a list of drivers that we have in the two-wheel short course class. You notice that the drivers' names are not in alphabetical order. I can come over here by drivers or display drivers by. I'm going to say display drivers by first name. And that will put the names in alphabetical order. Okay. So I'm looking down the list. I'm going to say A.M. Mercer. He wants to race. Now, A.M. doesn't own his own transponder, but this was the last transponder that A.M. used. Okay. It's highly unlikely that we're going to grab into the box of transponders and find this exact number right off the bat. Okay. So we're going to say the transponder number we gave him was 6543211. Okay. So once we enter his transponder number in, all we have to do is hit save and transfer to event. I'm going to click on this screen, and in the drivers list, A.M. Mercer's name is now in there. We're going to say that David Carmody wants to run. We'll need to enter in David Carmody's number, and we'll say his was 98543. Save and transfer. And we're going to say that Danny H is going to run. Now, Danny owns his own transponders, and I know this just by knowing Danny. Okay. And this is the transponder he's going to use, so I'm going to hit save and transfer to event. Okay. And we're going to enter in Jim Payton. And we're going to say Jim also owns his own transponder. Okay. We come down here to Mark Cuff. We're going to enter Mark's transponder, and let's say his was 652689. Hit save and transfer. And then we'll come down and we'll get Road Boy in the race. We'll enter his transponder number, save and transfer. And I think Steve Hill wants to race today in this class. And we'll say his was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then save and transfer. Okay. And so that's right now, this is all I currently have entered in the two-wheel short course class off the signups. Okay. So I'll go ahead and exit this driver database. Now I want to enter in some two-wheel drive classes. Okay. Or some two-wheel drive buggy classes. So I'll go back to options. And I'll choose to open drivers database. And we'll go to the two-wheel buggy class. We'll open that. Okay. And we'll say that Bobby Archer is going to, I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong database. Options, open database, two-wheel buggy. And these are coming up to 17.5. Options, let's go to the four-wheel short course. Okay, so it looks like I've got some numbers entered in wrong, but that's not a problem. We're going to say that Danny H is going to run. He owns his own transponder. Okay. We're going to say that Bobby Archer wants to run. Bobby doesn't have a transponder for this car, so he's going to borrow one. That number is 8796542. Save and transfer. We're going to say that I don't see Jim Payton in here, so we're going to go ahead and add Jim. Oh, there's Jim right there. And Jim doesn't have a transponder number. We'll give him a number. And save and transfer. And we'll say Chris Reynolds is going to run. And Chris's transponder 7894561. Okay. Now we have a new driver. His name is Bubba Joe Smith, and I don't see Bubba Joe Smith in the list anywhere in here. So we're going to go up here to our new button. Okay. And Bubba Joe Smith wants to run two-wheel buggy. Okay. So we'll enter in Bubba Joe Smith's name. Bubba Joe Smith. And Bubba Joe Smith transponder number, he grabs 7531592. And we'll go ahead and add Bubba Joe Smith to the race. Okay. All right, so that gives us, so once we're done entering two-wheel buggies, we can go ahead and exit out of this. Okay. So now we have a list of racers. And this will conclude this part of entering racers into the database.